They tossed you aside like it was nothing. A message read and ignored. A door closed without a look back. A laugh you heard through a mutual friend. It stings, it burns, it hollows your chest in the quiet hours. You replay moments alone. You search for meaning. You ask yourself what you did wrong. You feel small. You want to fix it. You want to explain. You want your name back in their mouth. You want them to feel the loss they caused. Hold that image for a moment. Let the rawness sit where it is. Let it ache. Don't run from it. This is where the work begins. You were made to matter. That truth sits under the hurt. It is not a lie. It did not vanish. But the way you react now will either bury that truth or make it stronger. Most people do what they always do. They call, they text, they apologize, they chase explanations. They post words meant to sting that instead look desperate. They make the person who hurt them the center of their life. That is the slow erosion. It feeds the other person's ego. It starves you. There is another path. You do less. You make silence into a tool. You change the game by changing your inner state. That is the power of restraint. That is the edge of the Stoic mind with a tactical backbone. It is not cruelty. It is not manipulation. It is clarity. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Say that again. You have power over your mind, not outside events. That sentence is a shield. It is a rule you can use. When someone tosses you aside, they show you where you stood in their life. That truth hurts, but it also frees you. It tells you the precise thing you need to fix. It points to the space inside you that needs rebuilding, not to them. First, own that what they did is not a mirror of your worth. It is evidence of their choice. Their behavior says more about them than it does about you. This is not avoidance. This is clarity. It is a simple swap of where you put your attention. That swap saves you hours of repetition and nights of replay. Second, silence is not absence. Silence is presence that does not beg. Silence is the kind of presence that shifts the balance of value. When you stop feeding the drama loses its fuel. Ego requires an audience. Remove the applause and watch the show falter. Third, use silence as an experiment. Do not speak to punish. Use the pause to observe. See how they respond. See how your feelings change. Use those results to decide your next move. The goal is not to make them suffer. The goal is to regain your mental space and move with dignity. Let me put this in a real scene you will know. It is late. You have had a few drinks. You see the text. It says, "Hey, you around?" You see the message in the picture that makes your stomach drop. You watch the blue dots. You tell yourself you will wait. You tell yourself you will not be needy. 15 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours, nothing. You spiral. You open Instagram. You look for them. You find a picture. They are smiling. You are not. You text again. You say something sharp. You say something soft. You say something that will make them respond. They still do nothing. The urge to call screams. You almost do it. Then you remember the experiment. You breathe. You wait. You do nothing. You place your phone face down. You stand. You leave the apartment. You go for a walk. You feel raw and light at once. An hour later, you check. No response. Good. You do not need their validation. You feel the corner of yourself that wanted to jump at them. You see how brittle that part was. You decide to nurture the other part. You turn this pain into motion. You go to the gym. You run. You read. You call a close friend who knows you. You do things that anchor you. Days pass. You keep the silence. You did not act out. You did not beg. You saved your voice for what matters. That silence does something hard to the other person. It removes control. It makes them wonder. It does not demolish them. It rearranges the terms of your relationship. You are no longer available on command. You are not their automatic option. That shift changes how you both operate. Now we will break this down into 4 clear insights that will change how you move. First insight. Control the only thing you own. Your reactions are yours. Your inner weather is yours. The world will hand you storms. You decide whether to stand in the rain or build a shelter. This is not fake calm. This is deliberate training. Start small. When a text arrives that triggers you, take 10 breaths. Count them. Breathe in 4 counts. Hold for 2. Breathe out for 4 counts. It slows the limbic system. It gives you time and perspective. In that window, you can choose a measured act. Second insight. Silence is leverage. It is a resource. Every time you speak to correct them, you give them power. Every time you resist, you deny that power. Silence is a decision. It is not an absence of will. It is a strong will at work. Look at the psychology. People respond to availability. The moment you remain available under the wrong terms, you tell them their behavior is acceptable. Remove the approval, and you force a new negotiation. They will fill the silence in ways you cannot predict. That is fine. The silence is a probe. It shows you the truth. Third insight. Rebuild daily presence. Your value grows with consistent action. No single message will restore your dignity. Your life will. Sleep earlier. Train. Read. Work. Make calls that matter. Show up for work with focus. Plant the little seeds that grow into a different future. When you act like a man with purpose, you feel like one. Your posture changes. Your voice deepens. People notice, most of all the person who ignored you. Fourth insight. Frame your life by actions, not explanations. You do not owe long answers. When you find yourself giving explanations to someone who tossed you aside, you are asking for permission to be seen. Stop that. A real man frames by what he builds and what he allows. If you want closure, create it inside your life. Do not beg for it from someone who does not honor you. Let me tell you another story. A man I know lost a job without warning. No call, no meeting. Just an email that said, "We have decided to move in another direction." He felt discarded. At first he panicked. He sent a long message to his former boss. He tried to explain years of loyalty. He wanted that voice back. Nothing worked. He hit rock bottom in his head. Then he paused. He committed to silence. He did not send another email. He did not post anything public. He used the empty hours to learn new skills. He took cold calls. He sent short professional replies when necessary. He did not fight to be seen. He rebuilt a daily routine. 6 months later, he had a better job with better pay and clearer goals. The former boss reached out and said, "Where did you go?" That man replied, "I built something else." He said it quietly. He did not need to explain. He had already moved. His silence had not been disrespect. It had been strategy. It protected his energy. It preserved his options. It was strength. This is not a trick. This is a method you can use now. Here are 4 simple practices you can do this week. Practice 1, the 24-hour pause. Receive a message that hurts. Do nothing for 24 hours. No text, no reply, no reaction. Use the hours to journal the sensation for 5 minutes. Write the exact words you want to say. Then fold the paper, put it away. In 24 hours, you will have a different vocabulary. You will see what matters and what is noise. Practice 2. The dignity script. Prepare 3 sentences you can say if a direct conversation is necessary. Keep them short. Keep them true. No pleading, no blame. For example, "I respect our time together. I am moving on. I wish you well." Say them once, then stop. That clarity ends the scene with grace. Practice 3. The anchor routine. Build a morning and evening ritual. It requires only 20 minutes. In the morning, do 20 push-ups and hold a cold shower for 30 seconds. In the evening, read for 20 minutes from something that teaches you. These small acts rewire your self-respect. Respect breeds more respect. Practice 4. The integrity ledger. Every night, write down one thing you did that day that proves your values. It can be a workout. It can be a hard conversation at work. It can be cooking dinner. Keep the ledger. Over time, it becomes undeniable evidence that your life is moving forward. You must also guard against 2 common traps. Trap 1, the revenge spiral. It seems satisfying to lash out. It feels like justice. In truth, it drags you into their world. It forces you to live by their terms. Reacting in anger gives them the scene they want. Silence denies them the performance. Trap 2, the martyr myth. Some people think suffering loudly will make them more visible. They build a public narrative of loss. They expect sympathy. Often they get pity and gossip. That is not dignity. That is attention-seeking. Quiet strength avoids spectacle. There is a deep layer here few talk about. People confuse silence with weakness because they assume silence equals surrender. That is a false map. Real silence is deliberate. It is not folding. It is choosing the moments you will use your voice. You are not silencing your truth. You are saving it for when it has real force. Imagine an old radio. When the signal is weak, you turn the volume up and the noise increases, but the message remains unclear. When the signal is strong, you lower the volume. The message cuts through. Your life must become that strong signal. You do not shout to be heard. You refine until your presence speaks. This work also requires boundaries. Saying nothing is not the same as tolerating abuse. If someone crosses a line, act. Remove yourself from places that harm you. Call a friend. Seek counsel. Silence is a tool, not a blanket. Now I will teach you a simple visualization you can do in minutes. Close your eyes. Picture the scene where they tossed you aside. See it as if you are watching a movie. Notice the people in the room. Now imagine a second scene. You enter the frame with deliberate calm. You walk to the place where you were standing. You lift your head. You do not speak. You do not plead. You do one small act. It can be placing your jacket on and walking out. It can be picking up a book and leaving. The act is symbolic. It signals that you control your movement. You have dignity in motion. Practice that visualization every night for 7 nights. Your body will learn the posture of leaving with calm. Your nervous system will remember the act. When the real moment comes, you will not flinch. That is the muscle of silence. Do this now. For 3 days, commit to the 24-hour pause. Every time you feel triggered, write the words you want to say. Wait. Then fold the paper. Keep going. At the end of 3 days, review your ledger. Notice how much of the noise disappeared. Notice how many clearer actions you took. That is your progress. You will still feel pain. That is unavoidable. Pain is a signal. It tells you what values were violated. Use pain like a compass. It will point to what you should change in yourself. Use it to fuel training. Use it to refine who you are. This also matters in the long game of relationships. When you become a man who values his time, people test you. That is natural. Some will step up. Some will step off. That is the selection. You want the people who stay for the right reasons. You do not want those who stay because you begged them to. Your silence helps reveal the true reasons. It separates the temporary from the durable. There is a final truth. Silence will not be quiet forever. The world will speak. Your silence will draw voices that try to fill it. They will call. They will text. They will show up. Some will ask why. Some will apologize. Some will lie. Your job is to decide who gets your answer. Not everyone who knocks deserves your time. Choose the ones aligned with the life you build. When they reach out asking for explanation, offer the dignity script. Keep it brief. Do not re-enter scenes of manipulation. If they are sincere, they will show it in sustained change. If they are not, their words will fade. Do not waste your energy proving the obvious. This method will do more than unsettle the person who tossed you aside. It will change your internal landscape. You will stop living around their actions. You will start constructing your days by values. You will sleep better. You will speak less, and when you speak, your words will carry weight. That is the point. Quiet is a form of force when it is chosen. It shapes outcomes without noise. Remember, silence is not the same as being unnoticed. It is a refined state. It allows you to see without being seen. It lets truth rise on its own terms. It keeps your hands clean. It leaves room for things that matter to grow. If you want to test this, start with the 24-hour pause this week. Keep the integrity ledger. Perform the visualization every night for a week. See who returns. See how your feelings change. Keep the survey honest. If you find patterns that hurt, change the pattern. If you find patterns that help, double them. You will feel temptation to break the pause. That is normal. It means the wound is still open. That is okay. Healing is not linear. Fall back on the small acts. Do the cold shower. Make the call to a friend. Write the words and fold the paper. These tiny structures are the scaffolding of a new life. One last thought. Power without kindness is empty. Use your silence to protect your peace. Use your calm to build, not to destroy. If your silence becomes a weapon to harm, you have missed the point. The purpose of this work is to restore balance. It is to have the strength to walk away without bitterness. It is to have the clarity to rebuild. You were tossed aside. That is facts. How you respond is the rest of your life. You can let that throw you away, or you can let it teach you how to hold yourself. Stand steady. Build your days. Speak rarely. Act often. What is one moment where silence taught you more than words? Think about it. Write it down. Share it below. Help someone see the path. This is Stoic truth, where silence becomes strength.